Happy Friday, everyone. Andy and Steve from WagerTalk.com. Welcome to the Road to Millions on September 22nd, coming off of Thursday Night Football. And we are getting you ready for the weekend. You are going to want to stick around. We have so much actionable information. We're going to go over our 6 best prop bets for the weekend. We've got a sleeper of the day. We've got a fade of the day. We've got a stat of the day that's going to help you out. We're going to do our Millie Maker best bet, and then we're going to do our survivor picks. So, Steve, we got a super busy show. I'm really excited. Everyone, please hit the like button. It really helps us out while you're watching it. Just go and hit that like button, and let's just get into the 6 best NFL bets here, Steve. So we're each going to do 3 here. So I'll start first, and I'll go over Khalil Herbert. This is just a fade of this terrible Bears offense. I mean, this running game for the running backs is non-existent. You've now got Justin Fields blaming the coaches, and then the PR team grabs him and says, you can't say that. So he says, I didn't mean it, even though he meant it. And he's probably right. But the running backs cannot get anything done. And not only can they not even get anything done, he's not even running the ball a lot. He had 9 carries for 27 yards against Green Bay. He had 7 carries for 35 against Tampa. And the Chiefs, they got Chris Jones back last week. They allowed 13 carries for 48 yards to running backs. That's only 3.6 yards a carry. And the Jaguars, that's a better rush offense than the Bears. So I'm going to keep riding these unders, these Khalil Herberts, these Damian Pierces, these teams that absolutely cannot run the ball. I'm going to keep riding them. So give me Khalil Herbert under his rushing total today. Steve, you love this Vikings passing attack this week, and hard to blame you. It's the worst pass defense in the league right now. But Jordan Addison's jumping off the page for you, over 50.5 receiving. What do you like about him?
It's a great spot this week against the Chargers. Like you said, they've given up the most passing yards per game, the most passing yards per play. Jordan Addison comes into this game clearing this line in both of his games so far in the NFL with 61 and 72 yards. That was against Philadelphia and Tampa Bay, better defenses against the pass than the Chargers. Vikings' worst rushing offense in the league at 34.5 yards per game. We have a really high total in this one of 54, the highest of the week. This has the makings of a shootout. Both teams 0-2, both losing 1-score games in both of their games. So it should be a game where they're both really hungry, and neither team is stopping anyone defensively. So give me the over on Addison. Keep him going. Over 50.5 seems pretty low considering he cleared it by 10 plus in both games.
Yeah, Viking. There's another team that can't run the ball, but don't worry, Steve. Cam Akers is on the way. Whenever your rushing game stays floundering, Cam Akers is there. All right, I have to take under Ezekiel Elliott, under 1.5 receptions. What are we doing here? He had 5 catches for 14 yards in week 1. Then I think the Patriots came to their senses. He had 0 catches for 0 yards last week. He's not a receiving running back, not with Ramondre Stevenson there. And honestly, he looked terrible when he ran the ball last week. I don't know, Steve. You're the Patriots guy. Do you think they're really taking Ezekiel Elliott serious here in this offense?
I mean, I think initially they were, but you know what? I was just going to mention he fumbled week 1, and that gets you in the doghouse with Belichick. If you fumble. When I saw him fumble, I said, being who he is, they'll probably give him another chance. But that just seems to stick in Belichick's mind. And if you fumble twice, forget about it. You're not touching the ball. You're not touching the ball again.
So true. So I'll take Zeke to go under. Jerry Jeudy, over 48.5 receiving yards. He came back from injury. Should be pretty close to 100%. What do you like about Jerry Jeudy this week?
So this one has the feel of last night's Elijah Mitchell play that we talked about and came through, where it's a player that hasn't done it on the field yet, hasn't done what we need him to do on the field yet. But we're looking at a usage increase here out of Jeudy this week. And he's cleared this number in 10 of his last 13 games. The Dolphins have struggled against slot receivers, and the game script has the Broncos throwing the ball. So that's the other thing. Xavier Howard, best Dolphins defender. He doesn't go to the slot. He stays on the outside, covering the outside receivers. He's going to be on Sutton all day. Jeudy will be open. And Russell Wilson's looked a little bit better this season, so give me his over this week.
Yeah, it's interesting. I was listening to a local Denver. Well, it's Mark Schlereth. He was talking about the Broncos, and he was saying, like, I know everyone's hating on Russell Wilson, but he's like, look at their defense. Their defense has been the one that's let everyone down. The offense hasn't been that bad. So,
Yeah,
yeah, Judy, good look. By the way, that Elijah Mitchell play last night, diabolical. That was
it was
amazing.
it was slick. I think that's similar to, like I said, similar to Judy, where it's a player that you can't point to and say he's done it X amount of 2 out of the last 2 weeks. I mean, Judy has done it 10 of his last 13, but he hasn't done it yet this season, and he didn't have much usage last week. He only played 65% of the snaps, but that's going to increase this week.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Durham Smythe. This is the tight end for the Dolphins. A lot of good things going here. Should be, I mean, this Dolphins pass offense is incredible. Broncos are giving up 54 yards per game to tight ends, and they have not played great tight ends. So, like, when you're giving up 54 yards to, you know, guys that don't start on anybody's fantasy football team, like, that's not great. Smythe has 3 catches in each game. He had 23 yards against the Patriots, 44 against the Chargers. Here's the other thing. If you lock this thing in now and Jalen Waddle gets ruled out, you're sitting on a dope number. Jalen Waddle is in the concussion protocol. Hope he's okay. But if he's out, you may see this number jump up to 30 yards or something like that. So I want to lock in Durham Smythe. He's been good. And I watched him a lot against the Chargers, and he was good. I like him. Like, passes the eye test. Like, I think I mean, obviously Waddle and Tyreek Hill are going to get all the attention in that offense, but I liked what I saw. So give me Durham Smythe over 25.5 receiving. Last one, Miles Sanders. Looks like Andy Dalton is going to be the quarterback here. So Miles Sanders, you like him to catch some passes here.
Yeah, I can't believe this one came out at 2.5 at plus money. He's cleared it at um, both weeks with 3 and 4 receptions. We have Dalton. We know he's a short yardage, check down type quarterback, that's for sure.
Yes,
and
he is.
key here, Seattle is dead last in blitz rate, 14.9%. Frank Reich he goes to his backs more when there's no blitz. In his last full season, he threw to the backs. Backs got 25% target share when there wasn't a blitz, but only a 15% target share when there was. The key here, Sanders, he has 11 targets. None of them have been during the blitz.
Wow.
Seahawks are a vulnerable pass defense. They don't blitz a lot, and I'm looking at Dalton. He was already brought in twice in short yardage situations this season, and so he's just going to be a short yardage. It's going to be dinking and dunking. Look for him to use Sanders as a safety blanket here. We get it at plus 105. I expected the number to be 3.5. Give me this over 2.5. I love this play.
Oh, that's a really good one. Really, really good one. So, yeah, when Dalton was there in New Orleans, you'd automatically took Kamara over over his receptions because it's
Yeah,
just check down Dalton, old check down Dalton there. So, all right, so we like Khalil Herbert under his rushing, Jordan Addison over his receiving, Zeke under receptions, Judy over his receiving, Durham Smythe over his receiving, and Miles Sanders over his reception as our 6 best bets. All right, guys, what plays do we have up on this Friday? Well, we've got the 5% UFC play, we've got the 5% NFL best bet, and then we have the just one play college football team total. We are 3-0, and that's all we need. One play, just one play in college football. But use the promo code. This is set up perfect for today. Promo code Andy3 gets a 3-day pass for $55. You'll get both of those 5% plays if you don't have the UFC play already. And even if you have the UFC play, just don't get the 5% play. Get the 3-day pass. You're going to get the college football. You're going to get any other plays we have in MLB and UFC. It's also a Formula One race this weekend. You're also going to get Corbin's soccer plays. So this pass is perfect for today. So before you get any plays, just use the promo code. It's a really good deal, and it sets up really well for what plays we have coming out this weekend. So promo code Andy3, 3 days for $55, and includes the 5% all NFL plays as well. So that is what we have up on. But Steve, does it when I say just one shot, kid? Do you know what show that's from? It's a very obscure reference. Just
I
one
actually
shot, kid.
no, I don't. I feel like I should, but I don't. I
All
don't.
right,
I'm not. I don't know where you're coming
all
from with
right.
this one.
Leave in the comments if you know. Don't Google it. If you happen to know where where the phrase "just one shot, kid" comes from, it's an iconic moment in television, in reality television history. So, but yes, that's the premise of the college football. Just one shot, kid. So, all right, fade of the day, man. This was like like what happened to not fading Patrick Corbett? Like it wasn't this a thing? Like
Yeah,
what this was like the McCaffrey touchdown like thing where it was just like every time Patrick Corbin was ready to play, you just faded him. I feel like that's gone out the window, but I love that you're coming back to it. What do we like here?
yeah. It's an oldie but a goodie, and he's been he's been a guy that we've picked on a lot. But he's been a little bit better this year. He has some bright spots, but he still has an ERA above 5, and he's still Patrick Corbin. And what I love about this one is the Braves look up and down this order right now. Every hitter crushes Patrick Corbin. You name it, Albies, Azuna, Acuna, Matata. You name it. Well, I mean, you name the hitter, and they crush him. So it's a great spot here for the Braves. They're still competing for seeding. They're still competing for personal player stats. Acuna battling for the MVP. Olson, he's number 1 in home runs. There's a ton of guys in this team that still have things to play for. They just scored 10 against the Nationals yesterday. The Nationals still have a poor bullpen, and these are good hitting conditions at National Park today. So it's 5.5. I was hoping we get a little bit of a lower number, considered the first 5 team total as well. But let's just go. They're on the road. We're going to get a guaranteed 9 innings of Braves at bats. Let's go over 5.5 on this one and fade Patrick Corbin today.
The oldie but goodie. It's like your favorite band. I just want the classics. Just play me the classics.
Yeah.
I don't care about your new stuff. just play me the classics. So, all right, that's our fade of the day. Sleeper of the day. Give me Tank Bigsby anytime touchdown at plus 265. The Texans are giving up 3 rushing touchdowns per game. Not 3 this season, per game. And
Yeah. That's rough.
it's really bad. And they've only given up 1 passing touchdown. So, like, when you score on them, you score. Here's a crazy stat. Bigsby is the only Jaguars running back to touch the ball inside the 5-yard line. Travis
Wow.
Etienne has no touches inside the 5. So Tank has 2 touches and 1 touchdown. He's not the receiving back. We know that. And we know the Jaguars like him and they want to use him. So I feel like he's going to get opportunities if they get the ball down there. And my gosh, if they're giving up 3 rushing touchdowns per game, even if Jaguars can get 1 or 2, I like my chances at Tank Bigsby getting the goal line work here. So I think it's a really, really sneaky sleeper of the day at plus 265 against a Texans team that just cannot keep running backs and rushing quarterbacks out of the end zone. So yeah, 3 rushing touchdowns per game. Good Lord, Houston. Like, can you just pretend you're a defense?
Right. That's a slick play, man, because I've seen a lot of ATN anytime touchdowns going around, and that's a good look there at 265 for Bigsby with how the Texans have been giving up all those rushing TDs.
Yeah. So that's our sleeper play of the day. Stat of the day. This one's yours, Steve. Let's talk love Dak Prescott. We talked about Jared Goff not throwing interceptions. Now we'll talk about a quarterback that does throw interceptions. So, what about Dak?
So Dak Prescott has thrown 17 interceptions in his last 16 road games, if you include the postseason. He's yet to throw in this season, but the Arizona Cardinals have recorded 1 in each of their games, and Prescott has plus 114 odds to throw an interception today. This is one of those ones where it's the classic, like, thank God we don't have to bet thank God you don't have to bet everything on the board, because this one, it just feels like a 50-50 split to me. It could really go either way, obviously, but I'm going to lean that he throws one. Even in a blowout last week, he threw the ball 38 times. I think that, the Cardinals have looked a little bit better than people thought, and that, I don't know, I think the Cowboys might take them a little lightly this weekend and potentially overlook them. And I'll take my chances at plus 114 that he throws an interception.
Well, and now brutal news with losing Diggs for the. I
Yeah.
mean that is a real problem for that defense, and I obviously losing a talent like Diggs is a big deal. But what that does is their defense was predicated on getting pressure on the quarterback because they can leave Diggs one on one with a guy. He gets burned every once in a while, but he'll take chances and get you really big interceptions. And they don't have anybody like Diggs. Nobody has anybody as fast and as reactive, with that quick reaction with Diggs. So I would also pose this question to you. And this is a slow burn. Cardinals, is this the best team the Cowboys have faced? They faced the Giants and the
Mhm.
Jets with Zach Wilson. You could argue this is the
Yeah.
you could argue this is the best team they faced this year.
Best quarterback.
We laugh, but it's not far fetched. You're taking Dobbs over Zach Wilson, I think, and Daniel Jones ain't exactly lighting the world on fire. It's not.
Yeah, it might be their
Not
best.
bad.
That's crazy when you think about it. When we talked about the Patriots having the tough schedule to open things up, man, Dallas has, and then they play New England, which for their standards should be a game that they're going to be favored in. But yeah, that's a great early schedule for them, and they got lucky losing, not having to face Rodgers.
Yeah, yeah. So, all right, a great stat on Dak going up against the Cardinals. All right, Millie Maker play of the week. It's my turn this week. I'm going Nico Collins over 50.5 receiving. There's so much to like about Nico Collins here in this offense. So he is the number one, and this is a team that absolutely cannot run the ball. Steve mentioned how bad the Vikings are. It's pretty obvious who can run the ball and who cannot run the ball. The Vikings cannot run the ball, and the Texans cannot run the ball. Steve and I were talking. I was listening to the CBS Fantasy Football podcast, and they were talking about how Damian Pierce's average yards before contact is like minus 0.04, which means he gets hit behind the line of scrimmage on every play when he gets handed the ball on average, which
Not
is
a recipe for success.
no, it is not. So what you end up having is low rush attempts and high passing. So I mean, this like 6 catches for 80 yards in week 1 against Baltimore, 7 catches for 146 against Indianapolis. Jacksonville is the 8th worst pass defense. And I mean, listen, Michael Pittman had 8 for 97 in week 1 against Jacksonville. Sky Moore had 3 for 70 against Jacksonville. Justin Watson had 3 for 62 against Jacksonville. And they're really bad. I mean, they average 2.5 yards per rush. That's how bad they are. And this passing offense, CJ Stroud has not looked too bad. And Nico Collins has looked really good. He's second in the NFL with catches over 20 plus yards. So I think this sets up for a nice passing game. We talked about how CJ Stroud should have a good game against the Colts secondary. The line was 215.5, and he had 384. I mean, if this guy's going to be throwing for 300 yards, yeah, Nico Collins is going to get 50 of them. I'm actually going to check here real quick on the line. Yeah, the line's already moved up. So let me let me change this real quick on the fly here. Sorry guys, let me give you an accurate line. Let's go 54.5. I would play this up to 57.5 for sure. I think this line is ridiculously low. He's got great targets. He's got really good reception numbers. So Nico Collins is going to be the Millie Maker play of the week here, over 54.5. As I see this line's already moving up. So let's go ahead and grab that play. And finally, all right, Survivor picks. Guys, if you already advanced and you have not given me your week 3 pick, put it in the comment section who you like. Steve, you and I'm going with Dolphins. You're going with Chiefs. I'll let you go first and explain the Chiefs pick. What do you like about them this week?
So I really considered the Patriots for this one.
Yeah.
And it's not that I'm afraid they're going to lose, because they'll take care of business this weekend against the Jets. I'm very confident, but It's because if we both can survive, I'm going to save the Patriots for Week 9 because I think we could really have some fun with Colts Patriots that week if we're both still
Okay.
alive.
All right.
So let's get to at least Week 9. I know it can be easier said than done. The Chiefs at home, Patrick Mahomes at Arrowhead. It's as safe as a bet as you can get. You mentioned the Bears earlier. They look horrible on both sides of the ball. Fields, 3 picks and a fumble already, and then you got the defense allowing fourth most yards, second most points per game. The Chiefs one of the biggest favorites on the board with the Cowboys. So, like I said, at home, I'm going to take I'll put my survivor on Patrick Mahomes this week.
I like it. I'm going with the Dolphins. They're at home to the Broncos. The Broncos, just their defense is not good, and this is not the offense that you want to have a struggling defense. Raheem Mostert looks great. He's healthy. I know we've got Jalen Waddle in concussion protocol. I don't think it matters in this matchup. Tyreek Hill should go off. I like Durham Smythe in this one. And here's the other thing. This is down in Miami. It's going to be hot. We've seen this year after year. These teams that are not used to the Miami Heat early in the year when they go down there, man, in that fourth quarter and late in that third, they start getting gassed. This is Denver going from their altitude. They've been at home all season. I don't think they've left since the preseason. So I just think this is going to be a really, really tough matchup. I think it could be a shootout, but if we're talking about what offense do you trust in a shootout, it's Miami, and it's not even close over Denver. So some tough matchups on the board. There's not a lot of blowout spreads. So I think it's a pretty good week for me to use my Dolphins pick on there. So Steve's going with the Chiefs, and I am going with the Dolphins. Congratulations on everyone that cashed on the 49ers last week. So, and if you have not gotten your pick in for this week, go ahead and put it in the comments section below. And that is going to do it for us here on the Road to Millions. Don't forget to use that promo code, guys. I'll pull it up here one more time. Andy3 gets 3 days for $55. Get you all bets for this weekend, including the 5% UFC, including the 5% NFL, including the college football team total, along with any other MLB plays, Formula One plays, soccer plays that we'll have up. It's a smoking deal. Today's the perfect day to use that one. So, great job, everyone, on Road to Millions. Give us a like, leave your comment below, leave your survivor pick below. And don't forget to leave me if you know what the Just One Shot Kid is. It's one of me and my wife's favorite moments in reality television. So, all right, guys, let's have a great weekend, and we will be here Sunday to get you ready for the Road to Millions. We'll be doing an in-depth look at the anytime touchdowns, the alternate lines, the player props, and of course the same game parlay. So good luck on all your plays today, and we'll see everyone Sunday on the Road to Millions.
Thanks, guys.